Chapter 45. All day Saturday, the Calivista phone rang off the hook. One by one, our investors called in. $1 million, Mia, they cheered. I can finally pay off the second mortgage on my own house, Mr. Lewis declared. It'll be a big help towards my mom's medical bills, Mrs. Miller said. I heard the joy in their voices, but I also saw the uncertainty in the Weekly's eyes as they came into the office to discuss their future. $20,000 is a lot of relocation money, enough to cover a year's rent, Billy Bob said. But not in Anaheim, Hank pointed out. Prices have gone up so much, I'll have to live somewhere else. My heart sank to the pit of my stomach. Maybe we could get a job managing another motel in the area, Dad said to Hank. They're all chains now, Jose said. We'd have to apply through the headquarters. What if you apply for this job? Hank asked. I may not have boutique hotel experience, but I can learn. So can I added. Then bit my lip. Vacation resorts probably wouldn't hire me because of my age. Still, we all decided to send the vacation resorts people our resumes and apply for our jobs. The severance packages was generous and all, but as my dad once said, it's better to have a fishing rod than a bunch of fish. As Jose packed up his cable tools to go home, I followed him outside and asked how Lupe's test went. Pretty good, he said. So she's free after school? I asked. I picked up a pool skimmer and started fishing out the leaves that kept blowing over the Magna. They seem to be using their leaf blowers to send everything over our fence. Jose chuckled. I think she mentioned something about coming over on Wednesday. I swished the net in the water and smiled. Right now, I'd take all the good news I could get. After school, I headed to Carmela Rosa's bakery. I found the shop tucked behind a dentist's office way in the back, barely visible from the street. Two ladies sat by the window, and they leapt up as soon as I walked in. Welcome, one of the women greeted me. You looking for cakes, cookies? I'm Carmela, the other woman said warmly. We've got freshly baked brownies. Would you like to try some? Sure, I nodded eagerly. I loved brownies. She handed me a chunky piece. I closed my eyes as I bit into it. These were so much better than the ones over at Purple Star, where Fred usually went. Wait till I tell my friend Fred about this place. Please do. We need all the businesses we can get, Carmela begged. Not a lot of people know about us. The location doesn't help, the other woman pointed at the dentist's office. People don't exactly want to eat sweets after a cavity filling. I felt around my mouth with my tongue. Even though we now have health insurance, we still didn't have dental insurance. I didn't even know how many cavities I had. We were at Euclid and Ball before. That was great, Carmela said. Euclid and Ball, isn't that where Purple Star is? I asked. Carmela nodded. Yep, she said. They bought us out. Of course we didn't know it was them at that time, her partner added. She dropped her voice and added, these large corporations, they got so many confusing names. They offered us a good price, so Tanya and I said, what the heck? Carmela shook her head as she rearranged the unsold cupcakes in the display fridge. Little did we know it would take us a whole year to find another place. A whole year? I asked. Carmela nodded. What's that thing the real estate guys are always saying? Location, location, location? Tanya asked. I nodded, having heard it as many times from going to open houses with my mom. What they don't tell you guys is how good the locations are, how all the good locations are taken up by the big guys, Tanya said. I took my notebook out and asked if I could take notes and ask them more questions. When I was done, I thanked the women for their time, paid for the brownie, and promised to tell as many people as I could about their shop. Walking home, I thought about how difficult it must have been for Carmela and Tanya trying for a whole year to find another shop. I still remembered when my mom lost her job, we had to eat a day-old bread and pick the mold off with our fingers. I couldn't imagine going back to that. But now I wonder if the American dream was like a park slide. You climb and climb, but boy, was it easy to slide back down. We just had to get vacation resorts to let us keep working at the Cala Vista.